Hi everyone, I'm Jorge, and I mentioned in a previous talk that we introduced a new anomaly detection robust strategy. So I just want to talk a little bit about this. Remember, the idea is that we want to display some bands around your metric and detect when you're off. So let's look at how it works. So first of all, we need to calculate the median, which is going to be the middle point for your bands. And we can do this by looking at a time window of 1 day and taking the median. And we choose the median here because it's a robust function, right? So it will be less affected by outliers. So once we do that, we draw this line. This is the middle line for our bands. The next step is to calculate the median absolute deviation, also called MAT here. And a way to approximate that is to do the absolute distance between the metric and the median. So you see the metric at the top, and you can see the yellow one is well, 1 second, sorry. So first you do the average, the absolute value of the distance between your metric and the median, and then you calculate the median of that. And that gives you an approximation of the MAT, but I just learned that there is an experimental function that is MAT over time, so I guess we will be able to use that soon. And that will give you a measure of the persistence, and again, it's over 1 day. And once you have these two things together, you just basically do the median, so the middle line, and you add the MAT that you calculated times constant. In this case, I just chose 2, and you can draw these boundaries that you see on top of, above, and below. So that's not all, and that's something that it changed from the previous algorithm, is that now we have a concept of level, and a level is basically, again, the median one more time, but this time is only over 1 hour, and that means basically that I'll show you how this helps, but basically, this is basically smoothing your metric. It's not just like, we're not looking just at the metric and how it falls outside of the bands, but actually we're looking at this specific level, so this smooth version of your metric, so that we have more robustness there. And this is how it behaves. So I ran this overnight yesterday, and I basically have a request rate that is more or less fixed, and I simulated a short spike and a more sustained spike. And as you can see, the first spike actually didn't trigger any anomaly. You can see because the level, right, the dotted line, didn't really move at all. And that's because the way the median works, we're looking back 1 hour, and it's the 50th percentile, so you actually need 30 minutes of a sustained change so that this will even be affected. So nothing happened, nothing was fired. We just ignored this spike completely. In the second spike, it was more sustained, and it was actually long enough that it actually pushed the level outside of the bands, and in that case, we actually fired an anomaly. And you can see it's a bit going behind of your metric, so it's a bit delayed compared to your metric, and it also fires for longer, right, until it goes down again. So let's compare with the algorithm that I presented last year, which has been renamed to adaptive. So in the first algorithm, the one on top, you see that the short spike actually immediately, we don't smooth the middle line, the level. So it immediately went outside of the bands and triggered an anomaly. But also the bands adapted really quickly and became really wide. So you can see that the second spike actually wasn't detected as an anomaly. And that's undesirable for some people because this algorithm has been biased to reduce false positives. But as you could see, you could miss some spikes. If you want to have something more sensitive, this is really maybe not for you because it's been biased to reduce that. The second algorithm, as you can see, the short spikes, it doesn't even care about them. The second one is delayed, so it fired way after the first one. And then it just, as I mentioned, was sustained, delayed but sustained after a while. And I think this could be better for some types of metrics. It really depends on the type of metric that you have. Yeah, I think that's all I had. Thank you.